and which include larger maintenance items, infrastructure repair, and all of that. So I think it may be helpful for the select board to have some clarification, especially with, there is a request for some items from that committee to go onto the warrant for the annual town meeting, but most of what they've asked in one of those articles has been put into the operating budget of building maintenance. So there's a duplication, and so I think there needs to be some clarification of what the role is of that committee, and then what the role of is really falls under building maintenance. It's just, we're going to be building up strength in that department in the next couple of years, which I think is what Hadley needs. But I agree with Randy, there is some valuable input there. It's just, I think there needs to be some clarification.
So is the way to do that to put the players in the same room and have a conversation with them?
Well, I think we need to give some direction to the municipal building committee, because I think they're going outside of their scope right now on some of the things that they're doing and in spending money and doing things of that nature that I don't think is under their purview to do that. I think that, we need to rein that back in.
I think most of our committee, is my understanding of what I've looked at here, most of the committees we've appointed are fact-finding, not money spending.
Well, you're paying an architect on the municipal building committee. Every time he does something, he gets paid.
You're talking about the architect that they
Hires
contracted.
Larry.
Larry, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, I think
But
there's.
he's out of money, as I understand it.
Well, he's out of money. I'm just wondering what their purview is to come back and where they're going with it now, and what do they foresee him being needed for at this point, and what we feel he's needed for at this point. I think we need a clarification on that.
So
Yeah.
so I think it makes sense to get them in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And talk.
Yeah, and get an update,
We
and
can
then, and
figure
maybe
it out.
it's a matter of narrowing. I mean, if we think the committee should still exist, then like Joyce is saying, making it really clear what the scope is remaining, and then also when we no longer are going to need one, a committee.
And just some process clarification as far as
Because now
capital
you've
requests.
taken them out of the whole picture of what the municipal building were about, that you now have formed another committee to do Russell School, whereas it's a municipal building, it was under the previous purview of that municipal building committee. So now you got those involved in the Russell School,
Well,
where
maybe
they
we
were
should-
supposed to be involved with the Russell School. So where does it go? Whose is it?
Maybe they both come in.
Well, now you're going to get three of them coming in, Capital, Russell, and Municipal.
Well, 2 capital planning committee members are sitting
Yeah,
here.
I think capital's pretty clear cut because it's in the bylaws, and that really is for this capital planning committee. They've been focusing on the requests that come in during the week. Then that working group that I'm working with is doing the long-term planning. I think
All
that
right,
the
then
input
leave
that you
them
need
out
to.
of it and just bring Russell and Municipal in. We've got two working on the same areas of
Mm-hmm. So
where,
I think it's almost processes that need to get clarified as well as roles, because right now with those 2 requests coming in, they haven't been a part of the capital plan, so what are we going to bump now? So
Right.
that's where I think this is a crucial time to get some clarification on what the building maintenance is, and really it should be facility maintenance, is
Yeah.
that department is in charge of facilities in the town. And again, it's a long-term plan to work towards getting that
that's
to be
fine, bring
more.
them in.
Okay.
So
Do we
you
want
want
that
Russell School
Bring 'em in.
and,
municipal building committee at the next meeting, your meeting, I'm not
uh,
here.
I
not
don't
the
care.
next.
They want to come in, they
March
can.
March 1st.
March 1st. So
Bugger.
the other question is, do we want to do anything about the 2, quote, vacant committees, the Hadley Media Advisory and the Disability Commission?
Should we, in the past, we've always had Hadley Media put something out saying that we're looking for volunteers.
Carolyn, is there someone independent of a Hadley Media Committee looking at the contract renewal?
Just right now, Alex is doing most of the research and checking in with me before
Because
they-
I think that's, our contract renewal is every 10 years, and that's coming up in,
Oh, yeah, but we tried twice to get a committee together.
well, what
and
I'm saying is that maybe those two committees, that committee, the
it do-
charter,
We didn't get a committee.
We didn't get-
The
nobody
last time,
volunteered.
I sent an update, I think it was probably late spring,
Mm-hmm.
to get volunteers, because we were late in the game, and I think I probably got 3 people that were interested,
Yeah,
if
and some
that.
of the people who were on it before have moved out of town.
Yeah.
So
So
they
that,
no longer
we
have
didn't
any
have a
chance.
choice, Alex had to move forward. in
oh,
order
yeah,
for us-
absolutely, he has to
So
move
I-
forward, but can we give him some help somehow? By bringing in somebody, I don't know, I'm just,
I know,
it's
I don't know.
a question I'm
I
putting
think
out
that's
there.
why he's been coming to here, to get some oversight with the questionnaire, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
I think if he can just continue to, he and I can meet and then know when it's time to come before you to update you on what's the next step, because there will be another, I'm sure another outreach
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I'd add with this is, maybe, obviously, we don't want to have all of these committees coming in with any degree of frequency, but it would be nice to know, like, have some sort of an update that every committee asks for an audience with the board, or vice versa, like twice a year or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or if they have a liaison, the liaison could speak, one of us.
yep.
I can,
Commission, do they have a mission statement?
who?
The Disability Commission?
I can answer
I
that.
think that one's state law, isn't it?
It is a state law, and the town had 2 members, which was not enough to have a quorum for a really long time. And the 2 members emailed me when I was doing renewals one year and said, please stop, we're not doing this anymore. So nobody's on it, but it is, the Disability Commission is put forth by the Commonwealth of what the requirements are. And if we had one, y'all could apply for grants.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about, how they just became, age and dementia friendly, if anyone, there, because that is a disability, if anyone there would be interested in being on that committee.
It's a good thought.
That is an excellent thought. I also think, I know there are some people in town who have, what are labeled disabilities, mobility skills, visual skills, auditory skills. And I think that we should try and have people who have specific needs who can actually say, well, this building doesn't work for me because I get in and I can't hear anybody, or the light isn't bright enough, or whatever the need is. And somebody who has a problem is who we really have to hear that from, not from somebody who is functioning.
Yeah, to be on that
Fairly-
committee, actually, you're supposed to be living with a disability. But also, just a reminder, Pioneer Valley Planning Commission is also doing an ADA accessibility study on the town.
Good.
That will be happening. So that will open up a lot of insight, but
That will open up insight, but if we have a committee, I believe it opens us up to get grants for,
yes, it does. You can't
Fixing
apply,
things,
especially
and
like
I
the
think-
elevator that may happen at Goodwin. In order to get to write a grant just for that, you have to have that commission.
so we should contact the Age and Dementia Friendly Group and see if anyone's interested. And
We
then,
should put it back what we did for the DPW committee as well.
and we should put it out to the public that if there is anyone who would like to serve on that committee, who has a disability, we would really appreciate it, hearing from them.
So you can petition the Hadley Media to put that on there.
Should it go on the town website as well?
And put it on the town website.
Works for me.
Okay, let's move along.
All right, anything else on our committees? All right, moving on to the town administrators, 360 review and select board evaluations. Jen, do you want to come up? And you have this, you're going to share screen?
She got fancy.
I am.
Can you?
Stevie, can you make that up and away?
And go to slide view.
I did on mine, for some reason it's not showing up on y'all's.
If you download it, you can see it on your own.
There we go, magic. No. I swear it's magic
I
here.
can see it, yeah.
Stevie, any clues why it won't give it like that on the big screen?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's fine this way.
Yeah.
But
Let's
then
go.
on the bottom right, in the book, I think the slideshow icon on the bottom right, like 3 buttons over from comments.
Slideshow. Oh, my comments.
Nope, but
It's fine the way it is.
we're
It's
almost
fine.
really fancy.
Okay, go ahead,
Next time you
Jen.
can be fancy.
So I did make a PowerPoint to kind of make it easier for everyone to follow along. So, oh, Jennifer, your fun toy's not working either.
It's working on my computer and I'm sharing my screen.
Maybe stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing and reshare.
That's a frequent happening.
So the sharing of the screen is the only way y'all can see it because it's connected into my computer.
No,
No, you
I
have
said
to
stop
restart
sharing
it.
and then try to reshare it, because
Oh.
sometimes that happens, it
Got
just
it.
gets stuck.
Okay, one more time. Like I have to share the screen, that's the only way it works.
We had a meeting the other day, and you had to, every time you wanted to change a page, you had to get out and come back in.
It looks like you guys also have it in board docs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have it,
It's
so
just
it's really,
our fans want to see it.
No, I know.
that's right, it's for the recording version.
Right.
I am so sorry.
Okay. Can you tab through it? If Jen,
I can.
yeah, so just changes manually?
So she'll tell you when to change it.
Yep, no button.
Yeah, just go like this and she'll know.
Yeah. I'll get the laser pointer out.
There we go.
If you can, come quick, make it happen.
I just have an idea. So how do you reshare it?
Hmm?
So how do you reshare it? Like we do that? Okay. I think the problem. Which one were you doing?
Window.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe try sharing your entire screen.
You have to pick it. You have to pick what you're sharing.
Even if you say entire screen.
It's a day of technical
Because I think if you
difficulties.
share your entire screen, it might just show the whole thing.
Right.
Carolyn? I'm just thinking maybe going forward, we should probably have Alex here.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay and I were commenting, this will take priority. Yeah.
So see. But to share the screen, I have to go back here, here.
You didn't want to go home tonight, did you?
Again,
Oh, come on, we'll be
when I
early.
click it,
It's short after this.
it shares that,
Yeah.
and then
And then switch. And then click full screen.
okay, Stevie did it. Stevie's
Yay,
brilliant.
Stevie.
Well done,
Stevie.
Stevie. That was the final act of her right there.
Okay, we're
Click
gonna-
away.
We got to renege on her resignation.
Yeah, we're gonna take that back, Stevie, sorry.
All right,
All right, so in the PowerPoint, we start with a overview of the process that we took, just for anyone that's watching that isn't aware. Then we can go through the department head 360 review, then the select board feedback, then the overall strengths and areas of focus for Carolyn moving forward. So we sent anonymous 360 reviews to 17 department heads and heads of boards that work closely with Carolyn in her day-to-day, and we got 11 responses sent back, most of which were anonymous. Department heads were told that if they had any staff who also had feedback, they could either print them their own copy or kind of compile it with their own if they wanted to. And then the select board was given their separate review form to fill out as well. Jane and I have met twice, and we reviewed all the feedback, compiled it all together, and figured out how to best present this information for all of you. So in case anyone's not sure what a 360 review is, it is when you're asking people's coworkers and other managers and people that work underneath them for feedback as well. That way you get a more well-rounded view of the person in their day-to-day and might hit on some topics that you might not see in your dealings with Carolyn. So the slide shows the 5 different categories that the department heads were given: valuing behaviors, interdependent behaviors, communication, valuing diversity, and leadership behaviors. And on the left-hand side of the screen, it shows which subcategory she was rated the highest in, and on the right-hand side, which one was the lowest. And I say lowest, but honestly, it was a scale of 1 to 5, and the lowest score there is a 3.5, which is still pretty high. So it's a lot of them, it was very, very close. But overall, there was not a lot of disagreement. Out of the 11 responses, most of them were all saying the exact same thing, 1 or 2 outliers on a few random bullet points, but overall it was pretty standard. And the main thing that was noted was that Carolyn treats everyone with fairness and respect. She respects confidentiality. She involves people in the decisions that involve their departments, and that she's very supportive. There are also 3 open-ended questions that were asked. First, they were asked what would they like the town administrator to stop doing. This question actually got the least amount of responses. These were actually the pretty much only 5 answers that people gave, mostly concerning not worrying about hurting people's feelings and just kind of letting people deal with the consequences of her decision-making, because everyone does trust her decision-making. The next question was, what behaviors and feedback does the town administrator provide that make your job more enjoyable and meaningful to you? And this got a lot of responses. At least 5 different people wrote some version of that she cares about me as a person and checks in on how I'm doing. People mentioned how she asks about their kids, their pets, things that they've brought up to her that don't even involve work. There's a lot of comments that she's direct and honest and is very accessible. She's always prompt. She always picks up the phone. Everyone feels like she is there for them at all times. The next was just any additional comments that might be helpful. I really enjoyed some of these. I think some of them are very encouraging. There's a lot of keep up the good work. I enjoyed the keep going the way you are, 3rd year's the charm. There's also a lot of comments about how Carolyn needs more support and that she needs an assistant, she needs more support, she always has a million things going on. It's very recognized in the building that she is being pulled in a lot of directions and has a lot of fires to put out, and maybe doesn't always ask for as much help for herself as she's willing to get for everyone else.